Hey, how awesome is this game? Missouri at Vanderbilt. College game day is going to be there. 3:30 Eastern, ESPN. How awesome is college football that this game is not a charity college game day game? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen game day go to different places throughout its history, and it's kind of one of those weeks where things are a little bit more calm across the slate. There's not as many, like, big-time matchups that are the obvious game day selection when they would go somewhere that's more of, like, again, a charity, quote-unquote, college game day. Like, they went to Penn many years ago, and that's a charity college game day. This is like, no, college game day should be there. This is two teams with one loss. There's college football playoff implications. Yes, for Vanderbilt. Yes, for Missouri. So that's going to be awesome. Vanderbilt, this is what you wanted, right? You've been asking for respect. You've been asking for a spotlight, and you've gotten that this season. Also, you've earned that. So this is your chance, if you're Vanderbilt, to have a lot more eyeballs watching you than you've already had at this point in the year. I think there's some folks that may or may not be living under their rock. They'll be out watching this one and see Diego Pavia. Okay, this is a chance, I think, to audition a little bit here for the eye test. Because I worry a little bit about Vanderbilt when it comes to the committee and people getting in a room and talking about Vanderbilt. Like, I wonder how much the Vanderbilt logo still makes decision makers, the human part of this, a little bit on edge. You and I watch college football, so we know Vanderbilt's real deal good. But I think if you can win this game and put another bullet on that resume and say, what are you going to do with us now? We just beat Missouri, one of the top teams in America when it comes to their ranking. Y'all think they're good? Well, we just beat them. This is the opportunity here for Vanderbilt to turn all that noise down and turn their own noise up, rather. Vandy, we turn. Shout out Pavia. For Missouri, this is a chance to go take some respect yourself, too. Like, if you win this game, all you got to do to make the playoff, go 3-1. A&M, Mississippi State, at Oklahoma, at Arkansas. 3-1 in that stretch gets you in the playoff. Most importantly, you can then split. You're not planning on it, but just to keep it a buck here, you could split A&M and at Oklahoma, your two toughest games. So there's massive playoff implications here for Eli Drinkwitz and the Tigers from Columbia. When I break this game down, I was talking to Cato before the show. I feel like I'm breaking down the same team. Like, not just from the colorways, which are pretty fresh to be real with the black and gold. Crafty mobile quarterbacks and Prabula and Pavia, both run-to-pass teams, both want to control the game and do the whole time of possession thing and just make you wonder where all your possessions went while they have 35-plus minutes of game control. Both kind of feel like they have their chip on their shoulder mentality. Like, both feel like they are the forgotten teams in the conference and aren't getting their respect. So as I break that down and unpack that, I think in a game where the personalities are so similar, who's able to do something different to make a difference in this game? Who's able to make that play in the fourth quarter where, yeah, Ahmad Hardy's a dog, Diego Pavi's a dog, but who can make something explosive downfield happen? Going to be fun to watch. Speaking of Ahmad Hardy, I don't think he gets bottled up for this third week in a row. Like, he's had less than 60 yards each of the last two games. People talk so much about the outside zone thing that Missouri does. They like to do it as a game day, breakdown package sort of thing and, talk through it. Essentially what that is, what you're trying to do in the outside zone is you're trying to challenge that edge defender, okay? And you're trying to make him pick which way to go. So they go upfield, we're up and under that. Foot in the ground, north and south. They collapse and try to take away the north and south part of this. We're around that. We're stretching the field. We're turning the corner. We're up and at them. I think the way that Vanderbilt plays defense, they're pretty aggressive downhill themselves. And as much as that's a feast for Vanderbilt in some ways, and it was a feast against LSU for the most part, I think that might actually be an advantage for Ahmad Hardy in the spot because when they bring pressure, it's going to give him a clearer picture earlier in his run. He's going to be able to see, okay, they're upfield right away. I can cut up underneath that, and we're out the front door, and we're running for green grass there. I think that's a big thing here for Ahmad Hardy to watch, and it's a big reason why I think he's going to have some success in this game and break back out. I also think that Diego Pavia is going to, in Diego Pavia fashion, deliver some moments, dude. Like, you got 170 people there for an 11 a.m. kick against LSU. How many people from New Mexico are turning out for this one for Diego Pavia with College Game Day in there? We checked before the show, 2 million people in the state of New Mexico. I mean, half that showing up for Diego Pavia feels like a fair estimation. I digress. I'm not sure how much Vanderbilt will be able to run the football when it comes to setting the table for Diego Pavia. Now, again, I told you, I think Diego Pavia has some moments. I think he makes some crafty plays where there's pressure. He gets out of it, and it's just like, hey, I don't know, dude. They got number 2. He does things like that where he breaks contain and gets a first down. We have the perfect play dialed up. I don't know. First down, Vandy, let's regroup as a Missouri defense. But Missouri's allowing 2.7 yards a carry right now, y'all. They are one of the best run defenses in America. And if you've watched Vanderbilt, you know they are so successful offensively because they do a great job of just what I said, having things in place to then have counters off of it later in a game. Again, I call it setting the table as a run game. I think that if Vanderbilt's going to have success running the football outside of Diego Pavia, it's going to have to be on the perimeter. That's where Auburn found most of their yards in the ground game against Mizzou. So I wonder a little bit how that whole thing's going to go. Again, I don't think you totally just like take away the run game for Vanderbilt, but is it there at the level to which you can win this football game? That's my question here. Now, if this game tilts towards Vanderbilt early, where I'm wrong and Vanderbilt has success running the football, and you look up and it's like, man, Vanderbilt's had the ball for like a quarter and a half of this first half. Like, what's going on here? Also, key part of this, if there's a takeaway for Vanderbilt, if home crowd's into it, which is awesome to say about a Vanderbilt game, home crowd's into it, get a takeaway, that's where this thing could start to tilt very much so towards the Commodores. So just keep a pulse on that. Early takeaway, run game working, the Pavias are wilding, look out Broadway. That's the way this whole thing could go if they get success doing that. So I mentioned the whole thing about the run game to go back to this point. Speaking of having something different than your personality, I think Pavia might need to do more throwing the football in this game. I'm not telling you he can't do that, but I think he will need to do that. Eli Stowers is going to be on a bunch of the X Factor breakdowns for this game. He's going to be listed as whatever the sponsor is, player, impact player of the game going into this one. He's 6'4", 236. He is the safety blanket for Diego Pavia. He's going to be an NFL player. He is a matchup nightmare, all those things. Watch him on third down because I think matching up with him, especially when it's like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, those plays will define the time of possession for Vanderbilt, and they will define the success for Vanderbilt when it comes to moving the football down the field. If he can win those 50-50 balls, or he can separate from Missouri in the secondary, that's how this thing gets rolling. That's a part of the personality for Vanderbilt that would be maybe accentuated in this spot when it comes to making a difference and winning the game. So here's my thing with Missouri. I told you I like Ahmad Hardy. I like Bo Perbula too, and I think he's maybe going to be under-talked about in this game because all the auctions go into Diego Pavia, and deservedly so. But I think his ability to push the football downfield, I think he's actually the better thrower in this game. And on top of that, I think Missouri has more multiple ways to attack the Vanderbilt secondary. Now, Vandy's good on the back end too. They're not bad on the back end, but I think when you talk about the big body tight end for them, Norfleet, you talk about what they can do with Coleman, you talk about Johnson, there's like explosiveness plus the ability to have those possession receivers that can puncture any zone. Like, I think that ultimately the ways for Missouri to win outside of a couple of turnovers going Vandy's way, it's just too much for me to account for in this spot. So I'll take Missouri to roll into Nashville, get their respect. I think that they win and cover. Final score 27-24. The Tigers get it done with everyone watching, and their playoff hopes now, you see where I'm going with this, their playoff hopes are very much so alive. So Eli Drinkwitz's postgame will probably be an awesome press conference there as well, which I cannot wait for.